Hi there and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about route groups. So basically how you can group your routes into several groups. So let's dive into it. Alright, so we're starting off with the same project as before with our books. Previously we used the resources route here, which gets a name and a controller, which actually in the background created all the routes for us. And as you can see, I have it working right now with the routes created manually. So I have created an index, create, store, show, edit, and update. I didn't create a delete because we're not using that at the moment. So these are actually the routes that normally the resources function creates for us here. But yeah, it's actually doing the same thing. So we're going to create a group. And I like to group all my routes together based on the controller that we're using. So we're going to start off with a route controller, and we're going to give it the book controller. There we go. Whoops. And it's a class. And we're going to give it a prefix because we also are using the prefix right here, books. So we're going to use the prefix books, and also the name will be more or less prefixed, but we just use a keyword name here, and it's also books. And if you want, you can add a middleware here, like for example auth. So all these routes in this group have to be passing the middleware auth, but in this case we're not going for any middlewares here. Then we add the keyword group, and actually that's a function that we have to pass in here with, there we go, containing all the routes that we have in our, there we go, all the routes that we have in our group actually. So as we have had a name in here, so we can actually get rid of all the books and just leave the dot there. So books.index, books.create, and so on. And actually we can also get rid of books in this in the prefix of books here. So there we go. And we can also get rid of the controller. So there we go. And that's actually how a controller group works. So we have a book controller, we have a prefix of books, we have the name books, then we have the group, then we have all the routes with create and so on. And let's test this out. And I have an error right here because I didn't have semicolon at the end. There we go. If I refresh, I add a book. So for example, testing, like test and so on. And actually it's a published book. There we go. And normally it should be at the end. Yeah, here we have the latest test that I ran. And I also can edit some, so I can put this one in review. There we go. So that actually works exactly the same way as before. So that's how controller groups, route groups, controller groups, name it if like you want, but I like to group all my controllers together and have them condensed together. So I hope you learned something from that, and see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye. Oh, and by the way, Happy New Year.